Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to read through pretty much the full article here. There is a link in the description. I do need to give you a trigger warning, again, of the highest order possible. This is a very, very dark subject. It involves the murder of a 1-year-old boy at the hands of, yes, you've guessed it, the mother's boyfriend yet again. Now I will let you know that I've already covered this story back in April. So this is an update. And I will go through the details thoroughly in just a moment, but to give you the update, essentially this scumbag, the mother's boyfriend, has entered a plea deal. He's pleaded no contest to charges of second-degree murder. They were downgraded from charges of first-degree murder. So he's accepted he's whatever the correct term is, we'll read through it and it will tell us, but he's put in place a no contest plea, which is different to pleading guilty, but in terms of sentencing, it has the same effect as pleading guilty. And with that, he faces a sentence of between 18 to 31 years. Which I would say is a good thing. I mean, let's hope for the 31. But I would think it's a good thing. So that's the main reason why we're having a look at this article. It's an update to a previous topic that I've covered. And as I say, it's a very, very dark subject. So we're going to have a look through the details at this point. If you do appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. A 24-year-old Michigan man will likely spend several decades behind bars after pleading no contest to accusations that he killed his girlfriend's 17-month-old son earlier this year by smashing the child into the ground multiple times. The scumbag, Alex John Radulovich, on Monday agreed to accept punishment on one count of second-degree murder and one count of second-degree child abuse in relation to the death of young Alexander Zan Butler. So that is the name of the 17-month-old boy, his girlfriend's son, that this scumbag killed. He's admitted to it. He's pleaded no contest. And he's going to get punished for it. The boy's name, Alexander Butler, also known as Zan. By pleading no contest to the charges, Radulovich effectively accepted his conviction without a formal admission of guilt. A no contest plea has the same effect as a guilty plea at sentencing. Radulovich was initially charged with one count of first-degree premeditated murder and one count of first-degree child abuse, but those charges were reduced as part of a plea deal reached with prosecutors. Radulovich is reportedly expected to receive a minimum sentence of 18 years and up to 31 years in prison. So I'm just going to comment on that. In regards to a plea deal, look, I'm no legal expert, but I have read through articles whereby the plea deals have been way too generous in my mind. They've given the criminals too much of a pass. The lessening of the sentence has been too drastic. In this case, I don't really feel that way. Okay, I would much rather see the scumbag get the death penalty, don't get me wrong. I would much rather that. I would much rather he gets 31 years in prison with no parole than 18 years in prison. The harsher the sentence, the better. Having said that, we know that some sentencing is too soft, way too soft, especially, in my opinion, in the United Kingdom. This happened in America. So to me, this happened in Michigan. So to me, 18 years, that is a long amount of time. Not long enough, granted, but it is a long amount of time. And if the plea deal enabled the prosecution to guarantee that conviction, to guarantee a minimum sentence of 18 years, I'm not too unhappy about that. I think I personally would not overly object to the prosecution's actions in this case. I would think that the plea deal has not lessened the sentence to an excessive amount, in my opinion. Again, I'd rather he gets the death penalty. I'd rather he gets 31 years in jail. But if the prosecution can guarantee, lock in 18 years in jail for this scumbag, hopefully they can arrange for him to have plenty of time out in general population so that the other inmates can have a nice little chat with him from time to time about how they feel about how he treated his girlfriend's son, which again, forgive the graphicness, but again, he admitted to smashing the 17-month-old baby boy Alexander Zan Butler multiple times into the ground, to the point that the baby boy died. Going to read through some of the details pertaining to the discovery of the boy, so perhaps I'll put a trigger warning in place at this point. Radulovich on the morning of February the 5th was watching baby Zan, his girlfriend's son, at their home in Western Apartments in Grand Rapids. The child's mother, her name Alyssa Butler, reportedly left at approximately 5:45 a.m. that day. At approximately 9 a.m., officers with the Grand Rapids Police Department, as well as emergency medical services personnel, responded to a 911 call from the couple's residence about a baby that was not breathing. The caller was later identified as the scumbag Radulovich. Upon arriving at the scene, medical emergency services paramedics attempted to resuscitate baby Zan, whom they described as having purple lips. Baby Zan was transported to the local children's hospital, but he was tragically pronounced dead a short while after arriving at the facility. Under questioning about the circumstances of Zan's death, investigators said Radulovich initially offered conflicting stories about what happened. He then admitted to having grown frustrated with the child and having killed the child. Why was he frustrated? Because the baby was crying. Radulovich reportedly told investigators that he was kneeling on the ground when he wrapped his fingers around Zan's chest and slammed the child to the ground 2 to 3 times. After that, he apparently tried to splash water on the baby's face, but the baby didn't wake up. This scumbag Radulovich didn't call for medical help. Instead, he put the baby back in the crib and he walked out of the apartment. He went for a walk to clear his mind. He had a cigarette. He met up with a friend. All seems very casual, doesn't it? The friend returned to Radulovich's home and told told investigators that he heard the baby groan. The friend checked up on the baby and saw that the baby had severe bruising around his head as well as purple lips. Only then did this scumbag that you see in front of you, Radulovich, the mother's boyfriend, only then, at the behest of his friend, only then did he call 911. Again, he told investigators that the reason why he slammed Zan down multiple times onto the ground was because he was frustrated at the baby's fussiness, crying, and irritability. He was annoyed that the baby was acting like a baby. He was annoyed that the mother left him with the baby. He didn't want to be left with the baby. So he's entered a no contest plea. He's going to be sentenced somewhere between 18 years to 31 years in jail. The sentencing is due to take place in December the 8th. And again, I hope he gets the full 31 years. I don't blame the prosecution for getting the plea deal. To me, even though 18 years is well short of 31 years, even though I would much prefer the death penalty, I don't hate this plea deal, but perhaps you do. I mean, either way, ultimately, we all hate the fact that a baby was killed for no reason. I'm not sure if I feel too much anger towards the mother. But you know, I don't know. Maybe I should. My feelings are not consistent. Sometimes I feel this, sometimes I feel that. I mean, the mother wasn't there. We don't know that the mother was aware of this guy's brutality. We don't know if the mother was a drug user. I mean, it seems to me that she left very early in the morning to go to work, as far as I can gather, which would indicate to me that she's a diligent mother. She's trying to do the best. That's what my take on it would be. But perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps there were warning signs that this guy's an absolute psychopath that could not be trusted with a child. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's no simple answers to these things, but and I don't wish to blame the mother in this case for whatever reason. So I'm just going to wrap things up here at this point. If I've done a half decent job, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.